Please welcome Michael Schall, who is the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Essex Property Trust.
Good evening. Actually, I'm just the CEO of Essex Property Trust because the chairman is, of course, George Marcus, who I'm here to introduce. So don't want to mess that one up, George. I didn't tell them I was chairman, just to be clear. I'm here tonight to tell you a little bit about my experience with our next honorees. And these are two people that I greatly admire and respect, deeply respect. And that is George and Judy Marcus. I can't see him either. I'm wondering what George is thinking right now. Oh, there he is. Okay, very good. Anyway, I thank the Bay Area Council for recognizing George and Judy. They are amazing people. I've known them for a very long time. I started working at Marcus and Millichap 36 years ago, and it was a wonderful experience back then, and I never left, and never will leave either, by the way, George. There are things about the company that I'll get to in a minute, but first I wanted to just say a few things about George and Judy. The first one that comes to mind is that they have been together for over 50 years. So I think we should give them a round of applause for that. They have many interests, and one of the ones that I think is most interesting to me is they do a lot of traveling, and they go to places that you wouldn't necessarily think of because they have interests that are understanding different cultures, different countries, how people operate, how political systems work. And so they've been to some very unusual places and are incredibly well traveled. And I've been working with George for many years, and so there are some unique things about our association. And there are, I would call George a serial entrepreneur. He sees something interesting in almost everything. He sees opportunity where other people really don't see it. And then he builds companies around those opportunities. And to watch him work is truly extraordinary. I've never quite seen anything like it. I'd say most people will focus on one business or a couple of businesses. George looks at many things, many opportunities that are pretty wide-ranging. Obviously real estate, but beyond that, several other areas as well. And I think about his success in the real estate area. He has two large public companies, both of which he founded in the 1970s, both companies that have grown and become very large companies. And then he has, I don't know how many private companies as well. So whereas most people will focus on growing one company, George has been able to continue to create and grow. And I guess as an employee and a business partner of George, there are so many of us that are incredibly loyal to him because there is a synergistic opportunity, and there's a synergistic approach to what he does, because he pulls together people of different talents and different skills and puts them together, and it seems like the result of that is much greater than the sum of the parts. And I don't know exactly how he does it. I wish I could do that, but it's an extraordinary talent. And I would go one step further because he has gone from real estate into the restaurant world. Of course, the restaurant world is incredibly challenging, and potentially, I'd say most restaurateurs have serious problems along the way. And so George and Judy go into the restaurant business, and they create Kokari and Evia, which are two of the most popular restaurants in the Bay Area. along with their partners. So I think these are extraordinary things that they're able to do. They're difficult to in retrospect, understand exactly how the pieces fit together, but an extraordinary example of what mankind can do. And so then I would go to philanthropy. That's sort of the next step, and there will be a long list of very worthy causes that the Marcuses are involved with. And I think that they'll take their talents and their abilities and apply them there. And the result of that is something I can't predict, because I suspect it will once again be greater than the sum of the parts. So I guess without further ado, I wanted to say, George, thank you for asking me to present up here and introduce you. You're an extraordinary man. Judy, you're an extraordinary woman. I'm so pleased to know you, and I think that everyone please join me in recognizing George and Judy Marcus.
George Marcus learned early in life the importance and value of hard work. It would help him build a massive real estate empire and, together with wife Judy, become one of the Bay Area's biggest philanthropists. The son of Greek immigrants, Marcus came to San Francisco with his parents in the early 40s with almost nothing. To support the family, his father dug ditches, opened a coffee house, and bought and sold property. He started from scratch more than once. But while his father always longed to return to Greece, Marcus saw opportunity and a bright future in America. Military service offered him a way forward and a way up, enabling him to save money for college and a new start of his own. Graduating from San Francisco State University, where he met Judy, Marcus wasted no time jumping into the business world.
I thought about my undergraduate activities because I was working like the rest of you, going to school and trying to get a degree.
With his strong work ethic and keen entrepreneurial knack, Marcus launched his own real estate business in Palo Alto in 1971, with an eye toward innovating and modernizing the industry. Did he ever? Breaking the grip of an old boys network and introducing revolutionary innovations that would transform and professionalize the real estate industry. With Judy in the early years supporting their family as a teacher, George spent long hours developing and refining a new real estate business model and hiring and training the agents who would execute it.
Life is a wonderful and exciting journey. I think all of us have experienced this. It is a challenge, and it's the kind of thing that we all relish. But essentially, it's about picking your partners.
Over the next 50 years, with partner William Millichap, Marcus grew Marcus & Millichap into a real estate behemoth, the largest firm in the nation, spanning hundreds of offices and employing thousands. Along the way, Marcus founded or led numerous other successful real estate, financial, and investment companies, including Essex Property Trust and Summerhill Homes, the largest home builder in the Bay Area. He became a major player in Democratic political circles and served on the California State University Board of Trustees and later the University of California Board of Regents. Real estate is not Marcus's only passion. Seeking to improve the availability and quality of Greek food in the region, Marcus even found time to launch 2 award-winning restaurants, Kokari in San Francisco and Evia in Palo Alto.
1 week, I had 3 billionaires call me up and try to get reservations at Kokari. 3 billionaires that wouldn't talk to me about real estate, never.
Philanthropy would also become a central focus for the Marcuses. Through their George and Judy Marcus Family Foundation, they've donated tens of millions of dollars to support a wide range of programs focused on education, community health and social services, religion, economic opportunity, and the arts.
Hopefully, our gift will encourage others to give back and make it a #1 place in the country.
They've donated almost $30 million to San Francisco State University to establish the George and Judy Marcus Funds for Excellence in the Liberal Arts and the International Center for the Arts. And they've volunteered their time and leadership on a multitude of nonprofit boards. As a 4-year-old arriving in San Francisco with his parents from a small island in Greece, George Marcus may not have known what the American dream was, but a lifetime of hard work, success, and giving back offers no finer definition.
George and I go back a long ways, so it's a great pleasure for me to have the opportunity to introduce him to you tonight. He is a character.
So in preparation, you can imagine what Alex said. Please wear a tie. Oh, I thought, oh God, yeah, I'll wear a tie. Guess what? Tie, everyone. No one cares. Does anyone care if I wore a tie? No. Say no. Okay. But I'm a good boy. The answer is, it's all right here. Get over here. Close, 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 close. This is the answer. I want to thank the Bay Area Council for this real great honor that they gave to me, but it should be given to both of us, which I believe is the case. I started with the remarkably good fortune of marrying this wonderful young lady. I keep joking to her that she proposed to me, and she gets really mad when I say that. Do you think women don't propose? Ladies?
I don't even remember you proposing to me, so.
So maybe there's a lesson here. It's a lesson here. Okay. But her confidence in me was unwavering. She helped me learn my business because as a broker, you don't get paid. So while I was working for nothing, trying to learn the business, she was a school teacher and she was supporting me. And that's a lesson for any of you who are young and thinking about getting married. Marry a woman who's working, please. I have been remarkably fortunate in my business career to have such extraordinarily capable business partners. You saw one of them up here, but I have 20 of them in the room or more. I'm just so, so fortunate. I want to applaud all of you, and I have a lot of wonderful memories. This is a little deviation from my little regular talk. We used to have a gala here for my brokerage company, and the brokers would sit, who were the best brokers, would sit close, and the bad brokers that had made less were at the end of the room. And I still remember, I haven't been back since then. I'm thinking of this, oh my God, what is this? So I've been remarkable with terrific partners, starting with Marcus and Millichap Company many years ago and moving into Essex and many other companies. I'm involved in home building and a variety of different other companies, as I mentioned. I've tried to improve the industry, and I believe I have, because my brokerage company does things completely different than they have in the past. What?
Get closer.
Oh, hello? See, she hasn't changed. She has to help me get through the speech. All right, I'll sing to you then. Okay. I've tried, honestly, to innovate in a way that doesn't sound like innovation in technology where we are in Silicon Valley, but it does really make a difference in the service industry. So we really did some remarkable things, and I wasn't going to give you some of the statistics, but I kind of want to, but I'm not, okay. And I'm trying to improve the industry a lot. On the way, with all of my success in real estate and industry, people have far more impressed with one thing, and please don't ask me, to get reservations at Kokari. Please, no. That's the only thing that people think about. My life is A restaurateur, oh my God. Who wants to get into Kokari tonight? Where's Willie? He lives at Kokari. God bless him. Thank you, and God bless America, and God bless all of you. Honey?
I just want to say I feel very honored for both of us to be here with all of you who are so successful in all your businesses. And my philanthropic side says, just give back when you can to your local community, because we all need help. So thank you so much for honoring us.
So please welcome Lynn Mahoney, who is the president of San Francisco State University, who's going to ask a couple of questions of George and Judy. Lynn?
First, let me just echo what Michael said earlier. It's such an honor to join the Bay Area Council tonight to celebrate the remarkable accomplishments of George and Judy Marcus. We saw in the video the kind of example you're setting in the philanthropic world. What inspired you? What were the origins of getting involved, and what are your goals? What would you like to see?
Well, in reality, I mean, we're here to improve our environment and help people that are in need of help, and education is probably the number one thing that helps everyone. I think when the first laws occurred in the United States, where you had to go to a certain level of school, it was the beginning of really a changing, and made this country remarkably different and better with a lot of other aspects of democracy. So it's all about you and education. Even though you're a tough educator, because I am hoping that San Francisco State will be the #1 liberal arts school in America. And under your leadership, it can do it. Honey?
And with your assistance, we're well on the way.
And the best sports program.
My athletic director, who's here tonight, just said, "Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Judy." To pivot to business, and in some ways this is also about education, you entered the real estate profession as a disruptor. And that's, I think, what you're encouraging all of us to do in all of our fields. How has your approach changed and evolved over the last 50 years?
It was, and this is serious to those of you who take one little serious note from me. The beginning of changing something is horrendously complicated and difficult. When I changed the brokerage business, and it's hard, this is commercial brokerage now, this is not residential brokerage. When I was looking at the commercial brokerage, it made no sense what was going on. People didn't have understandings of pricing, they didn't understand what the market was like. And so I introduced those concepts, but I was not going anywhere. They were all accustomed to the old way of doing it, bring me an offer. It's a $100 million deal, and you want to bring me an offer, and you don't give me any information. But that was going on throughout the United States. And we changed that whole process, not completely. There were some things that they were beginning to change. So I think you have to really want to do this and believe that it makes a difference. Now, it's silly to talk about commercial brokerage having that kind of an impact. I mean, you probably have never had a commercial broker in your house or ever talked to anyone. So it's every industry that you're all associated with. It's just incremental in some cases, and it's massive in other cases. By the way, let's start with, no, I'm not going to say it, she'll get mad at me. I married her also because she was a professional basketball player and making money.
I think as I look at the number of women in the room, your point about a working wife was well received earlier. You know, you're lifelong residents of San Francisco and the Bay Area. We could see in the video how much the city's changed during your lives here. There's a lot of hand-wringing right now about the future of the Bay Area. What's your outlook for the region, both in terms of business, philanthropy, arts, education, culture? What's your how are you feeling about the future of the Bay Area right now?
As long as we have the political leadership, like, where's my buddy, Willie Brown, who I love, people who have broad points of view and really can unite people to really, we're talking about education, we're talking about, because I'm in the housing business, and the housing business is very complicated because everyone wants housing, but not in their neighborhood. And it's like, that's been going on forever. And we just have to kind of rationally go through these processes. So not everyone will be happy, but you're going to make some people more happy. The reality is that we all have to work together. This is America. And when I said God bless America, I mean it. I mean, this is a blessing. We are so fortunate. All of us came from a different part of the world. And we're just so fortunate that we can continue to pass on, which is a little disturbing with the most recent political activities that are going on. They're a little disturbing to most of us, I'm sure. But when we get over this, which I hope we will soon, we have to continue to build our unity, regardless of what your political views are. And I just want to preach that as much as possible.
Judy, George, just quickly, any words of advice for emerging philanthropists in the group?
Give some money to San Francisco State.
I didn't even ask him to say that. Please join me in congratulating George and Judy.